All right. Like everything else, it's been fast and furious, and with some good things came out of it. I mentioned to you before that I thought Howie had a great plan for free agency and trades and so on. So this is what we have here so far, and it's a pretty good list. So Nnamdi, I think we all know about Nnamdi. He's one of, if not the best, one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. He'll be a great addition to our other two. Who has a radio here? He'll be a great addition to our cornerback core. Right now we have three good cornerbacks. It reminds me a little bit of when we had Al Troy and that crew there, and Bobby Taylor. So it's we'll just see how things go there. And then Jason Babin, defensive end, who you're all familiar with, who had been here before. We'll add him into the mix with our defensive line, and we've got a pretty potent group right there that are being coached very aggressively, and Jason's obviously very familiar with the coach. Johnny Lee Higgins is a wide receiver from the great University of Texas at El Paso, and that's very close to my heart. I had a chance to work there, so and also via the Oakland Raiders. So Johnny Lee is a wide receiver, and he'll work into the mix with our wide receivers. And then Donald Lee, a tight end from Green Bay, very talented tight end from Green Bay, and we look forward to getting him in the mix with the tight ends and get things rolling. The first thing I'd like to do is just congratulate and thank Howie from the coaches and myself for doing a great job along with Joe Banner. They worked their tail off and put together this phenomenal plan, and they came out of the gates like wild men, and so and attacked the issue. Neither one has had much sleep, but they've rewarded our football team in the city of Philadelphia with some great players. So I've got to run to a team meeting here. How he's going to take it from here, and fill you in on his adventure here over the last few days.
If anyone has any questions.
Is the plan to keep Asante?
Yeah, we think we had a great situation right now, and we're just excited to add Nnamdi and DRC, and we'll go from there.
Who's the nickel?
Those are all good problems to have. We're excited about our team and the players that we've added today, and get them out here.
What you said about we'll go from there, and Andy said we'll just see how things go there, it sure sounds like there's a move pending. It doesn't sound like you're building a case for three corners.
No, I think Andy said before that we've had that before, but really we've spent a lot of time on this and making this move, and there hasn't been a lot of time for other things. We've been pretty busy, so we're excited to get this move, and I think all those questions are for another day.
You expect three corners when you start the season? You expect these three corners?
You know, we were excited to get Nnamdi, and we thought it was a great opportunity for our football team and one that we had to explore, and that's why we made that move.
Does the move have anything to do with Asante's absence these couple days here?
No, that's a personal excused absence, and that's
Is there anything about Juan's defensive schemes that would lead you to want to be heavier at cornerback, or to put more emphasis on that position?
Well, it's always been a priority position for us, corners, pass rushers on defense, and we felt like last year we were in a situation where maybe we got a little short-handed, and we thought it was a place that we wanted to go heavy and have a lot of talent at, because you can never have enough cover of corners. That helps your pass rush, and when you have an opportunity to add the players we have, we just thought we had to add those guys.
So you used it yesterday that Rogers Kamari is your right cornerback. So who's your left cornerback?
We'll figure all that out. Obviously, things have been fluid here, and we haven't had a chance now. Andy and I haven't had a chance now to sit with a new depth chart and see all these things. I mean, really, we've spent a lot of time trying to get all these guys going. It's great credit to Joe Banner. Aileen Daly helped out a lot. and it was a total team effort in dealing with this and dealing with all these agents who did a great job getting their players to Philadelphia.
So DRC, you said yesterday you said you're starting right cornerback, so it's still your starting right cornerback.
Yeah, I think, you know.
And then Nnamdi is an all-pro cornerback. You don't know if he's your starting left cornerback yet or not?
Jeff, we had the opportunity to add Nnamdi. We're excited about adding Nnamdi, and we haven't had a chance to figure out all the specifics other than getting it. This wasn't a situation where you know, we knew what was going on until the last minute, and we're excited to be able to add talent like him.
How long were you involved in talks with him?
Well, I think that we'd say we're probably involved in talks with his agent on other players and kind of in constant communication about all options. It's always been a philosophy of ours to make sure that we evaluate all options and see. And in the past few days, a lot of things have come up, and we've been fortunate to have a lot of time to have had spent exploring all those options here in the past few months and evaluating the players. Our scouting department did a great job preparing for this. And so when these scenarios came up, some of them that we maybe had not anticipated, we were ready to strike.
But it looked like for a while that the Jets were the front runner for him and Dallas kind of sneaked in. I mean, were you guys there under the surface the whole time? I mean, did you have a feeling even when it would come together?
I think very late. You know, it was a process that took a lot of time to figure out, and to great credit to Nnamdi, he wanted to be in Philadelphia, and we'd love to have him here.
How is there a chance that Asante Samuel's absence could creep into a significant part of the season?
Again, Asante's absence is a personal situation that he's dealing with. It's excused. He's been in communication with all of us, and we wish him the best.
And he's healthy?
He's healthy.
100% healthy?
He's healthy.
The aggressive philosophy that you guys talked about before free agency, before this all started, how confident were you were going to be able to get out of this? Because there's other factors involved, there's other teams, but you're going to be able to get out of this. I mean, you got a Pro Bowl defensive end, 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks, you got a receiver and a tight end. I mean, how confident were you that you were going to be able to get what you wanted?
Well, you're never that confident until it actually happens. So the opportunity is presented to us. Fortunately, we're in position to strike and be aggressive and acquire these players. So we're really excited about it.
Have you contacted Asante since this trade was consummated?
Yeah, we'll keep all those matters private in terms of
Did
our
you guys feel
players.
any obligations to contact?
We're in constant communication with Asante.
Mark, any updates with Vince Young, or are you still negotiating with him, or
No. Vince was just on the waiver wire this afternoon, and quite honestly, we haven't had a chance to evaluate the waiver wire and the players that are on it.
There was talk of the team going all in, or things of aggressive game plan, that whole thing. You brought in Howard Mudd and Jim Washburn, Michael Vick in his prime. I mean, is there a sense that this is kind of the year to attack and go after that Super Bowl?
Well, I think every year we're trying to win a world championship and position ourselves great to have that run in the year that we're in, and at the same time protect the future. And we acquired a second-round draft pick, and we have an extra 4th-round pick, 3 6th-round picks in this draft. So at some point here, we'll get onto the college draft and everything that comes along with it. And I think we're positioned for the future as well.
When you talked about his being his wanting to come to Philadelphia, did you feel as much pursued by him as you guys were interested in what he can do?
Well, he's a great player, and we've always had an interest in Nnamdi. He's never really had this opportunity to hit the free agent market because of the kind of player he was. Oakland really didn't give him that option. And when we found out that it was potentially an opportunity for us to get him and that he really wanted to be here, we just thought it was a situation that we had to explore.
what makes him such a good player, great player?
Well, he's got great size. He has great speed. He's very physical. He's an instinctive guy. He can play different coverages. I mean, primarily in Oakland they press, but he can play off. And he's a great character guy. He wants to win. He has a will to win, and that's one of the reasons he's here is because he thinks that we have a great chance to win. So you put all that together, and it's quite a package.
He talked a lot. We talked to him before you guys played the Raiders a couple of years ago. We talked to him on a conference call, and he talked at length about, I think they averaged like 3.5 wins per year while he was there. And he just talked about how hungry he was to play for a winning team. And he actually talked about, being here and stuff. I mean, did you get that from him, just that money wasn't as important as just being somewhere you had a chance to win?
We did. I think that his priority was to go to a place that he was going to compete for a world championship, and I think that's why, we had a shot there. I think we have a good team, and we're looking forward to this season.
Howie, is part of the reason why you brought in these two particular corners is because Juan wants to get back to a Jim Johnson-style defense and playing press coverage with his corners?
Well, I think these guys can do any sort of coverage that Juan wants, and Juan's a flexible guy, and he's going to play to the strengths of our players. And for us, is when we evaluated these players, we thought they were really good players, and that's our job here to kind of add good players to our team, and I think we did that today.
But does it make you feel better knowing that you signed him and Dallas did not?
You know, we really don't have time to think about what anyone else is doing, and someone today asked me who I think is doing really well in free agency based on reports, and I said I wish someone would give me a list of what everyone's done. So we were just concentrating on the Philadelphia Eagles and improving our team, and hopefully doing a good job there.
Howie, the organization is almost famous for not giving big contracts to people 30 years old or older. And this, what makes Nnamdi different?
Well, I think Nnamdi's a special player, and all the talents that we just talked about there. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the support of our ownership, and they've been with us right throughout this process, and excited about the things here, and excited about this particular player, as well as the other players we brought in.
Where's your interest level with Vince Young?
We got to go back and evaluate everything else. Again, this is like after day one of the draft, you go back and you evaluate where you are. We did a lot of stuff here. It's been a busy couple of days. We've spent a lot of late nights on the phone, and we got some good players.
Timeline-wise, when did you know that you got Nnamdi?
Today, this afternoon at some point here, and we're very excited about it.
Were you following all the reports? It's the Jets, it's the Cowboys, the Jets are out, it's the Cowboys are out, it's the Jets. Were you following all that, and what did you make of it?
It sounds very confusing. So we really were in constant communication with his representatives, and Ben Dogger deserves a lot of credit here for helping in doing this deal, and he did a great job, and he was really a pleasure to work with here and getting Nnamdi to Philadelphia.
Howie, how do you pay Vic, Deshaun, Nnamdi without making a move and getting all these guys under the cap?
Well, right now we have to be under the cap. We are under the cap, and obviously we look at these moves and look at our cap situation and plan and prepare, and we have some players on this team that we want to keep here, and at some point we'll obviously go and evaluate those situations.
Could you clear up a procedural question? Sure. Does a player with Vince Young's service time have to clear waivers, or was that a straight release?
Well, what it is the league when a player is terminated, the league sends a waiver wire, and when you receive the waiver wire, you're allowed to contact the player.
Same thing with Asomugha. Is he procedurally? Does he have to wait to practice with you as well, like the other free agents, until whatever the season is done?
The only player on this list that we've acquired in the past few days is Dominique. He can practice with us because we acquired an injury.
The other guys, can they be in meetings and stuff?
They can.
They can do all the other stuff. They just can't be out here.
And just one thing on Johnny Lee Higgins, he's also a returner, a punt returner. That was another reason we brought him in.
Can any of those three cornerbacks that you just mentioned play safety?
We haven't really gone there, but I like your idea, guy, Jeff. I like it.
Does Dominique return kicks, or does Johnny Lee Higgins return kicks?
Johnny Lee Higgins can return kicks. Dominique, we're not looking at as a return.
Is it the idea for Deshaun Jackson not to return punts anymore?
Well, I think Deshaun would return punts. That's up to coach and Deshaun and how they figure it out. Obviously, he's an explosive returner, and you don't want to take that away. But we wanted to give ourselves some more options here on the return game, and Johnny Lee can do both.
Because of this most recent move, are you having to reevaluate things that you might have done if you were not able to land him?
Well, I think we were constantly evaluating things. That's why we didn't get a lot of sleep the past couple of days. But we've done that, and I think we're in a pretty good position, and we got to sit back here at some point, hopefully tonight. I don't know if it will happen tonight, and kind of look where we're at and our next mode of attack.
At what point did you have a firm commitment that he was going to agree to this?
Oh, man. What time is it now?
7:50.
Probably in the last few hours here.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you about Jason Babin yet, to talk about bringing him in.
We're really excited to get Jason here. He fits exactly what we're looking for in our defensive ends. He had a great season last year. He's a guy we're really familiar with. We know how he's going to fit in. Just a player that we're really excited to have.
Why, there are a number of pass rushers on the market. Why did you target Babin instead of some of those other ones?
We thought he was a perfect fit for us. We know he's played in Philadelphia. He knows what a passionate city this is, and he's a passionate kind of player. He's played for Coach Reid. He's played for Coach Washburn. He knows Juan. So it was just a great fit for both of us, I think.
Do you have a philosophy about wrapping up too much money, one position. Sante makes a lot of money, obviously. Or do you throw it out the window in this case, just because it's such a great player?
Well, I think that you're going to have to go light in certain other areas. In the system that we're in, if you go heavy in one area, then obviously it comes out of another. So we have a limited amount of resources, whether it's draft picks or money under the cap. And in this situation, obviously, you figure if you're going to go heavy in some area, then in some other area you may go young with draft picks or some rookie situation.
Does making a big deal like this suggest that you guys have to reach a certain cap number, correct? A certain percentage. You know where I'm going with this, right? Does that factor into making a deal like this?
No, we've always aggressively spent in not only the free agent market but on our own players and with the cap, and we've always been up there among the league leaders in doing that, and that's because of the great support of ownership. And I'm very fortunate to be in the situation I'm in with being the general manager of the team with that kind of support.
You look around the NFC East, and I mean, Dallas has Romo, and the Giants have Eli, and I mean, the Redskins have always thrown nickel. I guess a nickel kind of plays probably between 50 and 70% of the time. I mean, do you look at that? Do you look at the way the division is, the way the league is really as a passing league, and almost consider your third corner as a starter?
Well, we do. We do consider the third corner a starter, and this is a passing league, and we think it's important to be able to defend the pass and pressure the quarterback. And when you have cover players and pass rushers, and we added a couple of those today and yesterday, I think that helps you do that.
Do you feel confident that you'll still be able to rework a deal with Deshaun Jackson, given the money allocated to all these different free agents?
We're going to keep all our contract matters internal, and kind of go from there.
Howie, how much do you think you closed the gap on the Packers? Who were the best team in the NFC last year?
Well, I think our job is to get the most talented players and then build the best 90-man roster and then narrow it down to 53 and hopefully stay healthy and then go out there and compete for a world championship.
Is this a Super Bowl caliber team on paper now?
I think so. I think it is.
Do you need three really good corners to play the Packers? Their receivers?
They have a lot of receivers. When you play Green Bay, they just keep coming. They come off the bench. They come from the stands. They're all over. So, that's the team that just won a world championship. Obviously, they beat us in the playoffs, and when we're making a lot of these moves, we like to look at how we stack up against them.
Well, you talk about going light in other areas. Does that mean that this youthful linebacker core might be what we see on opening day?
Well, we're still exploring all our options at all these positions, but we're really excited about our linebacker group and the guys that we've drafted here in the past couple of years.
Do you anticipate a second rush, a second wave of people and signings and availabilities after this initial one, where teams obviously have to make adjustments to what they have on their roster now after they've signed people?
Well, there's so many players, and it's happened so quickly, and teams are starting to open camp, and there's still so many players that haven't been assigned to teams that players are going to have to pick teams at some point here and get to training camp. So there's still a lot of players out there, and there will be a second rush of players.
You're not, I guess it doesn't seem like you're close to that 90-man limit right now, so do you anticipate getting to that soon?
Oh, Nick, I have a roster that I meant to look at right here. I think that we're pretty high up there. I mean, we have a good number of players under contract right now, but I couldn't get to the exact number. I'll get to the exact number. Directly get to the exact number.
How proud of you? Is this it for the evening, Howie?
That's a good question.
I know.
For you guys, we'll be good.
When free agency started, did you think? I think a lot of people thought that Asomugha might sign almost immediately. Did you think it would take this long? Did you expect this to happen? Was this the way you thought might be one of your first moves, or where did you think it would end up fitting in?
Well, technically, free agency just started. So
right.
But
you said you had the agreement today. We know that other agreements have been reached in previous days. I mean, did you expect that it would take until this point to actually reach an agreement?
It's complicated. All these scenarios are complicated. Everything's rushed into a few-day period. We just started the league year, and we had to sign draft picks and kind of build our team, and everyone's in the same situation. And there are a lot of players out there, both rookies and veteran free agents. It's a complicated time period, but it's a lot of fun. Actually, it's been a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun.
You were saying, yesterday you're not done. Are you closer to being done now? How close are you to being done?
Let us regroup for a little bit, and then I'll get back to you on that question.
How proud are you of the fact? How close are you guys to Danny Watkins now, or is the contract talks bogged down at this point?
You know, I think we're going to handle that internally. The contract talks with Danny, and we're eager to get him here and get him to camp and get back on the field.
How proud are you of the fact that you were able to do this flying so under the radar?
Well, I think it's a great testament to not only our relationship with CAA and Ben, but also the people that were in the loop, and it's been a lot of fun. And you know, when you put on ESPN at 6 o'clock and they're still trying to figure out where he is, and this is a big-time player, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. We had a lot of fun today and the past few days.
Okay, I could just
Go ahead.
If there was like a trade proposal that was going to come for like Asante, would you guys listen? Or?
You know, we've never been shy about exploring all our options, whether it's free agents, in the draft, but we're really excited about our team, and we'll kind of go from there.
Do you have any idea when you expect him in town?
I can get back to you on that.